Ai Minna Vener. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and as I mentioned before in my last reaction, um, that hopefully you saw of So Hyung singing Amazing Grace, I am going to get back on track, and I paused. It's been several months since I did my last Angelina Jordan reaction, and as many of you know, the way that I do it is I follow chronologically her journey of growth in becoming an artist. And so I left off around the time that she was 8 or so. And so I'm moving forward in her timeline to when she was 9, to her performance of I Put a Spell on You. And one of the things that I'm trying to do as part of my preparation is to go and listen to like the original artists' performances of these songs and some different takes on it, right? So this one had quite a few different covers that have been done from different artists. So the first thing I did is I went back and I listened to the original audio recording of Jalacy Screamin' Jay Hawkins' version back in 1956, the original writer of the song. And it was interesting to kind of read a little bit more about the origin of the song. It started off, his original thought was kind of to make it like this blues ballad. And then, according to him, after he got a couple drinks in him and was goofing off with it or whatever with his band, and he took a different take with it at that point, and that's where the whole like the screaming thing came out, and the version that most people are familiar with came to be. So when I went ahead and listened to that, it was pretty cool. At first, I didn't know how I was going to feel about the screaming aspect, because I don't really like screaming as part of a vocal. But for the most part, it wasn't like true like screaming. It was just kind of, really singing the notes in kind of a screaming way, right? But the stuff toward the end of it, if you've listened to the version, the kind of caveman type, cannibalistic is what some people have called it, stuff that he does at the end. I'm not sure. It's kind of different. So then I moved on to the Nina Simone version, and I like that one quite a bit, actually. And this was from like the mid to late 60s is when she sang that version, her version of it. And that one was really like jazzy. I mean, she added a bunch of like scatting and things like that to it, and a lot of brass instrumentation and stuff, which was really neat. And that's what's been interesting with this song, is that to hear these different artists and their different takes on it is unique, and I like each one for different reasons, right? I also listened to the Creedence Clearwater Revival version, and that one was really cool. I like that one a lot. And then the last one I listened to, which could be one of my favorites, is the Annie Lennox version, which was from obviously more recent, in the 2010s, in that time frame. That was cool. She did some cool things with it. I like the way she added an orchestra to it. So she had a lot of different instruments in there. She had the piano, the orchestra. She had electric guitar. So yeah, she had a lot of different instruments in there, and she sang it pretty well. So anyway, I'm looking forward to obviously hearing Angelina's take on it. She always, if you've watched any of my reactions to her, she always has this maturity and this artistry to the way that she sings that's just well beyond her years. Just amazes me that how much presence she has and how much she just immerses herself in the song and brings her own take to it, and is unique as an artist, even at 7 and 8 years old, and I'm sure at 9. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her take on it. So as many of you know, what I do as part of my reaction is I read the lyrics at the beginning. If you're not into that, I do put chapters on my videos. So you should see, as you kind of scroll across the YouTube video, there'll be different kind of check marks along the way, and you can click ahead to go to different sections of my video. So if you're one of those people that doesn't want to hear anything about the lyrics, go ahead and jump ahead to my reaction. That's no big deal. But for those that are interested, I'm going to go through these really quick. And there's not a whole lot to these lyrics, really. It's very short, actually. It says, I put a spell on you because you're mine. Stop the things you do. I ain't lying. I can't stand no running around. I can't stand no put me down. I put a spell on you because you're mine. Stop the things you do. Hey, watch out. I ain't lying. Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you anyhow. I don't care if you don't want me. I'm yours right now. I put a spell on you because you're mine. I don't care if you don't want me. I'm yours right now. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to kind of get more of an understanding of the experience maybe that Jay had that kind of brought these words to life. Where he had someone he really cared for and loved and wanted to be with, but they just were not really reciprocating that love, right? Not returning it. And yet the desire was still there to be with this person. And it sums it all up. I don't care if you don't want me. I'm yours right now, right? So this whole notion of putting a spell on this person and capturing their love or whatever, this love potion type concept is really interesting. So those are the lyrics. Let's jump right in. Again, for those that haven't subscribed, if you could please click on the subscribe button there and click on the notifications bell to be notified of any of my new reactions coming, which I'm going to be posting more coming up. Please go ahead and do that. I appreciate your support of my channel. And let's get right into it here. She's so young. The no shoes. Yeah, that's Jay. That's the original. So they've got a bass, a string bass there too.
Because you're mine. Stop the things you do. I ain't lying.
So I wouldn't have guessed of all of the performances of this song that she would choose. It sounds like more like the Jaybird, the original version. She's doing more like the screaming and stuff like that. That is cool. That shouldn't surprise me though, because she's just fearless. She's fearless. Of course she's going to take on one of the harder versions, and it's going to challenge her voice more and really make her like stretch. It's her nature. Wow, I got to go back and hear that. She does a little scream there toward the end right before I pause. I got to go back here. She changes up her voice, and I've talked about this before, but she's just a chameleon as far as her voice is concerned, and it's at 9 years old. It's amazing. She has phenomenal ears. I think that's part of it. She just has really, really good ears. And so when she listens to a version of it, or she hears an artist and the timbre and the way that they form the sound and everything, she's able to really mimic that. It's really uncanny what she can do. What you can see, and she'll change her mouth shape and the way that she kind of produces the sound with the mechanism. She changes it up to be able to produce that sound. So she understands, even at this age, how to do that. You can see, if you compare this to some of the other ones she's done, her mouth is different. The way that she's and she's adding like this grittiness to it, and kind of I want to say she's kind of pulling the sound back a little bit to create this sound, this kind of, deeper kind of grittier kind of a sound, right? So let me just go back a little bit here.
I ain't lying.
See how her mouth is spread?
I can't stand no running around. I can't stand no putting me down. I put a spell on you.
She's putting a spell on me.
Because you're mine.
He's good.
Stop the things you do. Hey, what's up? I ain't lying.
Wow. She is an anomaly. I don't understand how someone her age can just bring it like that, and her control and her ability to rise up there and get those higher notes and add that kind of vocal fry, that grit to it, and still kind of maintain the pitch and the feel of the song at 9 years old. Jeez. She's an artist. She's an artist at 9 years old. Every time I do an Angelina reaction, I go through the same process, the same stupefied experience that I've had with each one of them, where it's just I'm shocked each time. And this is one of the best performances I've seen her do. I mean, this is just at a different level, in my opinion, from a lot of other stuff that she's done. She's adding more color to it. She's rising up for these higher notes like I was talking about, and just adding her own kind of character to it. And that little scream she did, she's just making it totally unique. Wow. Crazy. And she's got some good instrumentalists in there with her too. I mean, this guy on the sax, he was really good.
I ain't lying.
Sound that growl to it.
I don't care if you don't want me. I'm yours right now. I put a spell on you because you're mine. Mine.
That is cool.
I don't care
You see how she's going, I don't care. So she's kind of making it kind of this darker sound. She's just adding all these different tones and textures to it. Wow. She is a prodigy. No question. Sorry guys, I'm gonna go.
I don't care if you don't want me. I'm yours right
Wow. She is just something else. Wow. That's one of my favorite Angelina performances right there. Because of what she did with it. And it's one of my favorite covers of this song. Like I said, I've listened to I think 4 now. She sang one of my favorite versions of it. So that doesn't surprise me. She's just awesome. And at the end there, like when she did that little phrase, where she sang that final note, you could hear the resonance of that note as she sang. She's got it at an early age there. She's got that fullness to the sound and that resonance that carries through there in that final note. So all of that is there. The skills as a singer, she's developing and she's growing and challenging herself as an artist. And the more I kind of see her journey and where she's at this age, the more it makes sense when I think back to my first reaction of her singing Bohemian Rhapsody on America's Got Talent, right? Because I hadn't really watched her at all at that point. And here I am looking at her going, this is a 13-year-old girl. What's she going to do with Bohemian Rhapsody? And then I was just completely floored, as all the other actors that have reacted to that performance have been, by what she brought to it. And it makes more and more sense as to why she was able to tackle that and do it in such a remarkable way, and touch people through the process with her rendition. Because she had already worked so hard from a very early age up to that point at expanding her artistry, at figuring out how to arrange songs and make them her own and play with kind of like she did with Bohemian. She played with like the runs and keeping the melody, but yet adding her own take to it, So yeah, I'm excited to see more of her stuff and to see kind of, her journey, and then of course see the recent stuff that she's putting out. I did see the Million Miles. If you guys haven't looked at my reaction, I did the music video of Million Miles is the one I reacted to, which is fairly recent. But I'm looking forward to getting to that point where I can react to some of her more recent stuff. I've got a lot of work ahead of me though, because I was looking at a list of all of her performances on YouTube in chronological order, and it was like the list was massive. So she's already got a huge library of performances that she's recorded and posted on YouTube. So again, if you could guide me along the path as you guys have done so well, and kind of, because I'm not going to be able to do every single performance between 9 years old and now. Otherwise, it would just take a very, very long time. So what I rely on all of you to do is provide for me in the comments your recommendations for what I should react to next in the timeline, right? As you know, those that have watched me, I want to stay true to the chronological order aspect. So find me something that from when she was 9, for instance, maybe 2 or 3 more from when she was 9 that I can react to, and then I can go on to 10 and so on. That'll get me to her recent stuff more quickly. And what I can always do is go back and react to some of her earlier stuff after I get to the recent timeline. So that is definitely something I'm planning on doing, because I want to continue to react to Angelina and see the wonderful performances that she puts on. Anyway, so thank you all for your patience again, for waiting for me to get back on track and get some reactions posted. Again, I'm going to try to do better now. I do have this Yeti Nano mic now, so hopefully the sound quality is improved from some of my earlier reactions. And I've got a new webcam as well. That's one of the top Logitech webcams. So hopefully that's improved the quality of my reactions and from the sound and visual standpoint. But again, as I do with all of my reactions, I want to close by reaching out to all of you and letting you know that you are special, you are loved, and you can accomplish your dreams. And I hope that in some small way my channel can help with that, and bring light to your world, as I say in the theme of my channel, right? Music lights the world. So again, thank you for all of your support. And again, if you haven't already, if you could please subscribe to the channel and click on the notifications bell, that would really help a lot in supporting me in my efforts to light the world with music and to bring together a community of us that can come together as friends and share our light with each other, hopefully. So I hope you all are doing well and are happy and healthy, and take care.